back with part 2 of deadly submarine accidents in history. Alright, next up we have the USS Scorpion, and this one imploded with 99 people in it. It was on a top secret mission, so the families didn't even know what happened to them until years later. The crew was running surveillance on Soviet subs, and this was during the Cold War. They're actually on their way home, but then they just disappeared. It took them over 5 months to be able to find it, and they finally did in the Atlantic Ocean near the Azores, and it was over 9,000 feet deep in 2 different pieces. And there was evidence of an explosion and an implosion. The official story says there was a malfunction with one of the torpedoes and it exploded in the sub, destroying the control room, so they lost all power and started diving deep into the ocean, and then once it passed like 2,400 feet, it imploded. But some people think it may have been shot down by a Soviet sub because they had shot down one 10 days earlier. Alright, next up we have the Kursk, and this one's crazy because 23 people ended up getting trapped on the ocean floor for like a day before they passed away. This happened over in Russia during a peacetime drill, and what happened was during the drill the torpedo fuel that they were using reacted with some of the brass joints and created a small explosion, but then that led to the whole torpedo room exploding, ripping the whole front of the sub off, but the back ended up being compartmentalized and 23 people were trapped back there as it dropped to the bottom of the ocean. Now it wasn't very deep, it was only like 350 feet or something like that. It didn't implode, but they were just trapped on the ocean floor hoping someone would come rescue them, but no one did, and the Russian government refused to even go down there for like 5 days, and Britain and America I think offered to help because they heard the explosion. It registered as like a 2.2 earthquake. They refused to help, and the crew that was trapped, they ended up writing notes that were found later on their bodies, but they were basically saying goodbye. This is a really chilling moment, but the government was not giving information to the victims' families, and she was like really upset and crying, and they ended up sedating her on live TV. While she was yelling, this lady in the back breaks out a needle and pokes her. Like 2 seconds later, the lady drops. I can show you guys that video in part 3 if you want.